So this is hot to the touch.
The result is it works. So leave a comment, like, and if this has opened up food for thought, ways for you to actually use this on your track day camping situation.
Right off the bat, right out the box, anybody with experience with old-fashioned regular generators won't be impressed with the performance of this glorified battery, as it only power your tire warmers for an hour and 40 minutes at most. And that only leaves you session 1, session 2, midway through session 3, and you're done. In an emergency situation, if it were the same with your refrigerator, that leaves you an hour and a half to find another power source, whether that's gasoline for your old-fashioned generator or begging the neighbors for their solar power source. And that's why we do these tests. Well, that's why I do these tests. In fact, I'll be the first to have a commercial, a civilian sport electric bike and test it out on track. But until that day comes, I'm enamored. I'm really enjoying these power stations to see how they work, because I want to have fun on the track. I want to be able to protect myself in an emergency situation, and I just think it brings another element beyond gasoline powered generators.
Welcome to Footage Factory. It's been a while since I made a video. If you don't want to listen to my life story, fast forward, 45 seconds. But I haven't been doing track days because all my bikes have been broken and in transit over the Atlantic. So while I've been prepping my motorsports channel life, I thought to myself, what a great opportunity to test out these tire warmers with this power station. I had tire warmers in Europe, but they had UK plugs, so I gave them to my buddy, and I had to buy some American versions. And I thought to myself, I need to buy a generator, obviously, but why not get a power station and see how well that works? So a lot of you watching this video, you might have clicked off already because you think this is a stupid idea, but if you're still watching, I think this is an interesting prospect of using a power station, an electric power station, to charge components out on the racetrack, because you go to the gas station, you get your jerry can, you bring your jerry can to the racetrack. That's you transporting the energy to the racetrack. Where this one, you can either charge it in the car on the way there. If you're going to a second track because you have multiple track days that you're doing, this can be used as a backup. Oh, this generator, I'm out of fuel, it's broken. This can be used as a backup. What else can it power? Can it power TVs? Can it power air conditioning? And that might be a bit much, but either way, I'm curious to what possibilities, what doors it'll open as I'm out on the racetrack.
The DJI Power 1000, this is the base model from Amazon, that does not come with the cigarette lighter, solar panels, extension cables, all sold separately, which I'm buying after this successful test. Right, video's over with, it works. Not so fast. How quickly does it suck the power down? How quickly can I recover the power, whether it's a sunny day, or can we regenerate, recharge from multiple sources, whether that be 2 solar panels or 1 solar panel and a cigarette lighter simultaneously? I know we won't be able to recharge as fast from the 120 wall power, but how fast can we do it out in the field? Here is an example of the old-fashioned method. Old-fashioned generator, pull the cord, you're up and running. But let me break down how a track day looks from my point of view.
So there's 3 sessions. The first session, you're out in this example. The other 2, you're in resting, recovering, food, putting your tires back on the tire warmers. That leaves you 40 minutes of keeping your tires up to operating temperature. Now this video morphed from being about does it work to how to keep it working throughout the day. Obviously it only lasts for 3 sessions at most. So how are we able to recover the power from either solar, vehicle, battery extension? What this video did, it opened up a can of worms. So now the next step, the next video in this theme of using power stations, power banks to power your race situation, how do we add on to what we already have?
Now that I'm no longer in Europe, here in Florida, the tire temperature characteristics I guarantee will differ from the Baltic state of Scotland, with the tire getting up to operating range and staying there faster, more consistent. Does that mean less maintenance? Well, that type of thinking got me crashing at Cadwell Park. Food for thought. Also, cooking food, heating a hot plate. I used to, at the lowest setting, heat my hot plate with my generator so not to burn out the unit, but it made for a 3-hour wait time just cooking a hamburger. So we'll see if I can actually cook food. Oh, also, the reality of hurricanes here in Florida and cooking food, powering your phone, with all the power outages that could and probably will happen, having this power station
off the track might make for a life-saving situation one day. Also a business opportunity. Here at Footage Factory, I'm beginning to 3D print with this Bamboo P1S. Could I bring this 3D printer out to the track, power it, make parts, 3D parts?
This is a perfect example why I make these videos. Midway through editing, I thought to myself, why don't I just reach out to DJI support and ask them if I can charge DC solar while using it simultaneously, cooking a hot plate or just using whatever appliance I want to do it with. And they confirmed, screenshot, check it out. They confirmed that we have to buy a module and then we can power it DC. We can do it AC, so we can power it AC. But then again, if you have AC, why do you need this unit, especially when it comes to powering tire warmers? If you have AC power, just use the AC power to power the tire warmers. But if you can convert that DC solar or whatever to keep recharging the unit, I think we'll be in business.
Now, right up front, you put fuel in the generator, that's how much generation you have, a gallon of fuel. And this one, you have 100% power. How long does that last? We're testing it out. As of right now, you can see we're testing. So I've unboxed both of these things. You could see that if you watch this video. But what we're doing here is we are seeing if this gets up to temp. Obviously it does. See in the green right there. It gets to about 175 degrees. One of the things I like about this is that we could charge other things, because as you're out on track, cameras, GoPros, your phone, and it has wall outlets on it too, so you can charge your scooter. That's another thing that my wife is out right now. She's at her horse show, and she's like, my scooter's halfway charged and I don't have the ability to charge it. So we'll get to that here in a second. We'll get to actually how, I mean, in her scenario, you could bring a gas charger, but I mean, they don't really have gas generators out where the horses are, or they do. They're away from where the horses are, where you can bring this right into the. So in this video, we are testing out this power station.
All right, I'm not too sure how long it took to charge it from, I don't know, what was that, 50% to 100. I left it for 2 hours, 100% charged. So now we're gonna test it out. I got some work to do in my office, so I'll bring it to my office, plug it into my tire warmers, and then periodically test it, unplug it, as if we are at the track. Now for the remainder of the video, a lot of the testing we did is irrelevant. Does it work? How long does it? And spoiler alert, it takes roughly 2 hours to charge it from 0 or about 7% all the way up to 100% on AC charge. But now we're moving on to the next stage. We're actually pressure testing this thing to see how well it works out in the field. And that's where we're migrating this video onto right now. So I appreciate you watching this video. I'm really happy that it works, but now we have to buy some extra components. I'll be putting all the links in my Amazon, all my Amazon links in the description, and then I'll be adding the links that I'm actually buying, whether it be the module or the cigarette lighter charger. And there's even an inverter that you can plug into your battery, but I'm gonna take a step back, because whether I'm in an emergency or whether I'm on track, the last thing I want to do is run my truck, run my vehicle. I guess I could do that as a plan B, but my plan A is to recover power solar. So thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment, and let me know if there's anything you want to see.